Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 159 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also sometimes, on occasions, known as...
the Naughty Couple.
Hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
What an action-packed episode of naughtiness we have this week. It really is.
That is what they want to hear.
We've crammed everything into this one. It's been a busy week.
It has been a busy week.
We've got a couple of very, very exciting parties coming up.
Yes.
Which we're going to talk about. I've been experimenting with a cocktail for our chocolate and chill party.
Rightio.
Okay, I've been experimenting with this cocktail. It's not going too well. It's Viagra and prune juice.
Oh, God.
I've been experimenting with it, but I can't tell if I'm coming or going.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, dear.
Oh, the old ones are the best.
We've begun. So it begun. Oh, dear. So this week's episode of Vanilla to Vixen, we are talking, it's kind of inspired by one letter, really.
Yeah.
A letter it's the most beautiful letter that was sent to us. Well, it was an email sent to us, and it's just lovely, and it's inspired us to do like a whole episode on embarrassing sex questions. And agony aunts to do with sex and all sorts of things.
All those taboo things that people don't talk about.
Absolutely, it's very taboo. So stick around, and if you're listening to us with iPods in a public place, just watch you blushing. That's all I'm going to say.
There'll be lots of lolling, won't there?
Yeah, definitely a bit of that.
Laugh out loud.
But before we get on to the main meat of the show,
yes,
we'll talk about our events coming up.
It's quite exciting, isn't it, Mr. N?
It's another mini tour.
It is.
We're in Leicestershire, we're in Nottingham, and we're in Worcestershire again.
Yeah. So 3 events at 3 different venues.
Within about a month of each other, yeah. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Starting with Saturday the 13th of September, we are at Liberty Elite, and I'm really excited for this one. It's the Chocolate and Chill party.
I feel we need to explain this one a little more, Mr. N.
Okay.
I don't feel people will probably kind of get what we're aiming for with this party.
It's certainly not Viagra and prune juice. We're giving that one a miss.
There'll be no prune juice in sight, I can promise.
No. Might be a bit of Viagra. We don't know.
It is actually going to be National Chocolate Day.
Yes.
Which, hence the reason why we decided to do a chocolate party.
I knew there was a reason behind it.
There was a reason.
Yes.
We always find a date that's in the calendar that represents something for our events. And we thought, well, what can we do to make it a little bit more,
sexy.
Yeah.
Sex it up a bit.
So we added the chill bit afterwards.
Chocolate and chill.
Yeah. So it is going to be all things chocolate. I've been doing some research.
We're bringing the chocolate fountain.
Yes.
Okay, we're bringing that.
Yeah, I might not let you in charge of that, though. You are slightly messy.
Oh, it's a machine. I've got to be in charge of the machine.
You can be in charge of cleaning it.
Yes. Now, the cabin girl from Rogers and the Cabin Girl is quite experienced at chocolate. She is. She's a chocolatier.
In fact, I think one of our parties, before we got to know her really well and blessed, they've become amazing friends and part of our crew, she actually turned up to one of our events with chocolate titties and chocolate willies.
I remember.
That she'd made, and they were really lovely.
I loved her chocolate titties.
I do think there may be something in the pipeline to represent vanilla to Vixen in a chocolatey way.
Do you think?
Possibly. Possibly.
Look forward to that one. But the chocolate fountain, I'm definitely, after speaking to the cabin girl, a little bit scared. You know me, I like to over-engineer things. And yeah, we could be in a bit of a mess, but let's hope not.
Yeah, so it's going to be all things chocolate. Chocolate covered, all sorts.
So we bring the chocolate.
Yeah.
The guests bring the chill.
Yes.
So how do they do that?
Right. So normally you guys know that when we do events, we normally have some sort of dress theme.
Yes.
So we decided for the main part of the evening, the welcoming and before dress down, we weren't necessarily going to do a theme other than
smart
evening wear. Something
smart,
classy.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to dress up in something chocolate related, you are more than welcome.
I remember that Sexy Mother Truckers, I have seen one of the Sexy Mother Truckers as Willy Wonka.
You did. You did.
We might see that again.
You never know. You never know. So it's not compulsory, as always.
Yeah.
It's whatever you feel most comfortable in. The dress bit comes into the dress down, the chill.
For the first time ever, we're doing a party with a themed dress down.
Yeah, we've never done one before.
This is genius.
I know, this is really exciting. So go on, Mr. N, because this was really your idea. So
as it's a kind of like a chocolate and chill party, for the dress down bit, we want you to chill. So we want you to wear or bring something like your sexy nightwear.
yeah.
So for guys, this could be like a sexy satin kimono. My favourite, a smoking jacket.
Oh, good grief.
The smoking jacket has been ignored for too long. No coward. We need to bring that back.
Okay.
No coward style. Smoking jacket, bring a pipe. Not encouraging smoking. There's no smoking indoors, obviously, but you could bring one and just, look like no coward. Excellent.
Do you know, there is one person that really comes to mind that I have a feeling will take that and bring it to the party.
Who's that?
I can't pronounce their name.
Ah.
But you know who I'm talking about.
The Disney Onions.
They're the ones. The male side of that couple is, they came to our 70s party, didn't they, at Purple Mamba, and oh my God, he looked fabulous. He really does go to town. So I can see him in the whole smoking jacket kind of ensemble, shall we say.
Definitely. And we mustn't forget the ladies.
Absolutely not.
Guys, 1980s. Do you remember the 80s? High karate, aftershave, wear your satin kimono. But we mustn't forget the ladies. Ladies, silky satin
Lacy.
negligee.
Yeah.
Negligee could come as nice negligee.
Yeah.
Perhaps a nice flowing gown. If you don't want to show too much, you could wear a nice flowing gown.
Exactly.
Robe type thing.
Yeah.
You could just do the lingerie thing if you want to. If you want to chill out in your lingerie, it's a sexy chill party. We've never done this. I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. Also, fellas, if you want to just wear boxers, a lot of people just like to wear boxers.
Yeah.
I have seen, or I have been sent images of boxers that have chocolates on them
Already.
That's what you call a box of chocolates.
Oh God. It's worse than mine.
So yeah, the world's your oyster, my lovelies.
Or a box of chocolates.
Or a box of chocolates, depending on how you want to go with it. But yeah, we just thought this would be a little different and a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you can't make it to September the 13th, we have got another date for you. Chris and Amanda have invited us back to the Purple Mamba Club.
The crazy people.
On Trent Bridge in Nottingham. It's a beautiful venue and we're very, very proud to have another party there. We are going all out gangsters and dolls.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to this one. I've always wanted to be a flapper girl.
Did you say flapper girl?
I said flapper girl.
I'm definitely gangstering this up. So again, with this one, you could do 1920s, like proper Bonnie and Clyde. You could modern it up a bit, go as your favourite character from a Guy Ritchie film, Quentin Tarantino.
Bit of Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
maybe.
yeah. You could come as Vincent Vega or, you know.
You could do The Godfather. You could, whatever floats your boat.
You could go Cuban, you know.
Or, again, there are people that don't feel comfortable dressing up. As always, it's not compulsory. If you're not into it, you can just normal club.
That is a prepay party, so you have to get yourself on the guest list. You know how to write to us. Just go to v2v.uk and all our email and everything's on there. That's v2v.uk. All our emails on there. Send us an email or send us a message on Fab Swingers. On Fab Swingers, we are the Naughty Couple, spelled NAUGHTYCP1. So the one is like an L. We are Naughty Couple on Fab Swingers with that name. You can message us on there if you're a couple. Limited amount of single guys. All the single guys have got to be super video verified by ourselves before we let them on the guest list. Single ladies also, of course, always welcome. And you get on the guest list first by contacting us. Once you're on the guest list, you can then buy your tickets direct from Purple Mamba for that event. It is prepay only. We hit capacity really quickly last time.
Do not leave it to the last minute, guys. We don't want you to be disappointed.
That was tough. We had to turn away so many couples to the last one.
Yeah,
it was really
awful.
harsh.
You're not used to that, are you, Mr. M?
No, and there were some good-looking couples that we had to turn away. It was very distressing.
Yeah, so please be early doors with that one.
Yeah.
Make sure you get in there quick.
And once you're on the guest list, buy your tickets immediately. Yeah. Because you don't want to wait like a week, 2-3 weeks, whatever. Otherwise, you could miss your slot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once that's done, we move into October.
Oh, gosh.
So we're just doing the start of October. We'll save the other parties for later on. But the 3rd of October, we are over to Worcestershire. We are back at the very posh hotel.
We are.
And we're doing our hotel takeover.
We are. Velvet Vixens.
Velvet Vixen. So that's the one where you get a chance to dress up. It's really exclusive.
It's very glam.
Yeah, you get to meet some really sexy couples. And we're just doing a one-off Friday night party. It's one night only. Velvet Vixens. We're going to, again, invite a very limited amount of single gentlemen. All super verified, all will understand the etiquette expected, which is tremendously high level of etiquette expected at our parties. And we've got lots of sexy single ladies hoping to come to that event.
Yes.
We've not yet opened the guest list for that one.
No, not yet.
But we will do very soon. But you can send us a message and you can kind of send us a message, say you want to come on the guest list, and we'll get your names all ready to go on the guest list.
Yeah. So like Purple Mamba, this event is a prepay event.
Yes.
So once you've got your names on the guest list, if you contact us either by email or by Fab Swingers, we will let you know how you can buy your tickets. Obviously, this is a private hotel, which we are taking over. So we will give you the details on how to buy your tickets.
That's right. The whole hotel is ours just for that Friday night. All closed down. So we've got all sorts of things in there. It's a hotel takeover. American style almost. Well, that's what they do, don't they? They do the hotel takeovers in America.
Yeah, they do.
And we're kind of bringing it to the UK.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But it's in a very British way.
I was going to say, it's definitely a very British event.
So now that's all out the way.
Yes.
And we've told you about how you can meet us and how you can get to some of our events.
Yep.
We're moving on to the news.
The news.
This week. Now, we've had a few messages, which we've had a lovely message, which we'll come on to in a little bit.
Yeah.
Beautiful message.
It is a beautiful message.
And we've had a few other messages, which are lovely, but they've gone, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. N, have you seen this?" And it was initially sent to us by the Sexy Mother Truckers.
It was, yes.
This has basically been all over the media this week, which is news of a swinger couple who started a club, and they explain why they've banned ugly people from joining.
I mean, that sentence in itself is so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, I'm hitting this with a very neutral opinion.
Rightio.
I'm trying to stay as neutral because you know what mainstream media is like.
I know what they're like. And it's all to do with clickbait and everything else.
I hate the mainstream media.
I know you do.
And I'm taking this from Lad Bible. So, because it's been all over the place, it's been, I think, in the Sun, it's been in the Daily Mail, it's been everywhere. But I'm going to Lab Bible, and basically got a couple of this blonde couple, which they look a very handsome and attractive couple.
They do, and they are very blonde.
Very blonde, and it's a sex positive couple who started a club for other swingers. Have explained why they've banned unattractive people from joining. Sharing is caring, says the article, and it's the new mantra in the bedroom for couples who are looking for something new, with plenty of partners explaining why hot wifing is helping to save their relationship.
Okay.
Well, hot wifing won't save your relationship.
No.
If your relationship needs saving, our advice to you is don't go swinging.
Absolutely not.
So again, I honestly don't believe that any couple in the naughty hobby who are really experienced enough to host and start a club or whatever, I don't believe they would say you can save your relationship via hot wifing.
No.
I don't believe that.
I'm also not convinced that you would use the term unattractive.
The article goes on, while it might be a foreign concept to many of us, interest in the lifestyle is certainly on the rise, with folks now attending holiday resorts and festivals, specifically for some fun with other couples.
Right.
Okay, well, that's true. Yeah,
It's true, yeah.
So they've named them Tanya and Ashley Marum, married in 2019, but in recent years have explored the swinging lifestyle. They appeared on the Channel 4 hit show Open House.
Oh.
The Great Sex Experiment. Keen to explore Tanya's bisexuality, the two first started swinging just a few months after getting married, and they haven't looked back since. Even launching their own events company where people apply online. However, you must be deemed attractive if you want to get into the club. Tanya from Leeds explained it's just such an accepting community of people.
Oh, bloody hell.
Hold on a minute, that's
a slight contradiction.
A kind of contradiction in term. We're really accepting, but we only accept you if you're Brad Pitt and Angelina.
You see, the thing that gets me about that phrase, and I'm not saying that they've definitely said that, because like you say, with the media, but if they're saying that's just basically who they feel is attractive.
That's very true, Mrs. N. The old saying,
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's the one, isn't it?
And everybody is attractive to somebody. So
and it's hypocritical to say we are really accepting people, but we only accept you to our events if you're in our eyes attractive.
Exactly.
Let's read on.
Okay.
We've made some really good friends through the lifestyle, and it's brought me and Ash closer together. Some couples say they can talk about anything, but I don't believe they can. I totally agree with her on that. There's always something you don't really want to say to your partner, but I can ask Ash anything. Obviously, jealousy is a natural feeling, but it's how you go about it and how you act on those feelings. Again, good advice. The trust and love and the foundation is already there for us, so we don't get jealous in any bad way. Dearest reader, I hope the irony of swinging being an accepting community isn't lost on you here, but Ashley explained some more about exactly what they have a strict vetting process. They've picked up on the hypocrisy too. He said it's one of the best decisions we've ever made. Our sex life is better than ever. Ash says we've made businesses out of it and it's become our sole life now. It offers a new hobby for us, which is always fun. When we found it hard to constantly meet people that are our own age or that we like, we messaged people on a website and we said, why don't we all meet in town for a drink? We liked it so much that we said, let's do it again next month. Now we have events with 300 plus people going and we make people apply on the website, so we know what they look like. I don't want people there who the majority would think are unattractive. Wow. So if that's a direct quote, and he said it. We want to try and get people to come that they might not be your type, but they're nice looking and take care of themselves. Well, I mean, you do want people that present themselves well. Of course you do. You don't want somebody turning up in a binman's uniform, unless a binman's uniform is your kink. We could have a binman's party, then it would be great.
Yeah, but like we've said, and we've talked about this before, people who you're not necessarily physically attracted to, once you meet them and you get to know their personality, they become incredibly attractive.
Exactly. I mean, they have said, he said, I don't want people there who are the majority would think are unattractive. That's...
Well, what are you going to do? Go around and ask everybody, do you think they're a minger?
Tanya added, I think it's strengthened our relationship emotionally and sexually. We could talk to each other so freely and we're so open about our own bodies as well. It's just improved everything. So, yeah.
I think, and I'm going to put an open invitation out now, that if those guys are listening to this and they have been misquoted or they would like to back up what they've said, we'd love to have you on the podcast to talk about it.
So they own their own events company, and you're absolutely welcome on the podcast. You know that we love to promote everyone on the podcast. We never do exclusivity.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's quite controversial and what they've said. And it probably wasn't meant like that.
Exactly, which is why I think it'd be nice for them to be able to voice it directly so people can hear it from them rather than read it in an article.
And they popped up on my Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And there was 4,800 replies.
Wow.
To the Lad Bible. And I actually decided that I wasn't going to read any of them out.
Yeah.
Because they were brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against the couple.
Yeah.
And for me, they are a good-looking couple, but it seemed like people attacked them, calling them non-attractive, which I think is just a response to obviously what they've said in the article.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I don't think anyone would look at the couple and say they're an unattractive couple. They're a very attractive couple. But I think, you know, if you're unkind to people, it's like a war that starts, and then especially on social media. And so the replies, there's 4,800 replies, and they are brutal.
Wow.
People have like literally ripped them to bits.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I always like to play devil's advocate as much as I can. And
I mean, the thing is, you can be the most beautiful looking person in the entire world, but you might have the most ugliest of personalities.
But the other thing is as well that there are certain parties, I'm not going to name them, but we know of certain parties and events and event companies that, you know, where they specialise in people of a certain appearance who are a certain dress size and certainly catered more towards the younger people in the swinging lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
You know, if you fancy some noodles for lunch, you're not going to go into McDonald's and buy a burger. Are you? I'm trying to put it into a food context. You know, if that's what you're looking for, then and a service can provide that. It's a free world and a free community, and you're welcome to do that. But I think you've got to expect a certain amount that brings with it a clickiness.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
People on the outside will see that as a clickiness. We've even been aware of parties where two lots of couples who are friends.
Yeah.
One couple got accepted onto the guest list, and the second couple got told no, thank you. How do you think that makes people feel?
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
And
I know.
If you're putting yourself up for that type of party, you've just got to be embraced for rejection.
Yep.
And just accept that that's what it is. And in fairness, they're being brutally honest. And so it will be for some people, it won't be for others.
Oh.
But yeah, so I mean...
Interesting.
We've only kind of mentioned that. It is really, really... A hot potato, that one.
It was, yeah, it was. And like I say, we've brought it up because obviously we got sent messages about it, asking if we'd seen it and
we've had numerous messages, and I've got to say that everybody who sent it in wasn't particularly impressed with what they'd said and how it was presented. So again, you know, if the couple in question are out there and they want to kind of say, yeah, it's a bit of a hatchet job on us, we will gladly have you on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Gladly. And you could tell us all about your parties.
Yeah. Moving on. So we've received the most beautiful message from a person that's just called Grateful Listener.
Yes. Yes, she doesn't want to be named.
Nope.
So, yeah, we've withheld her name, obviously.
But we felt we needed to read this out. We love to get all messages. And as you know, we are very honest on this podcast. We always say the good, the bad and the ugly. This is the most beautiful message that we've received. And I think sometimes it's nice to just share positive and kind messages. Yeah. So, dear Mr. and Mrs. N, I'm writing to you today as a deeply grateful listener and long-time fan of the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. My husband and I have been married for 13 years, and for most of that time, our relationship has been, for the lack of a better term, comfortable. We have a wonderful life together, full of laughter and shared interests, but I felt a growing sense that we were missing a certain spark. A few years ago, a friend recommended your podcast to me. To be honest, I was a little hesitant at first. The title itself hinted at a world I knew nothing about, but I was curious and decided to give it a listen. From the very first episode, I was hooked. Your candid and compassionate approach to subjects that are so often shrouded in secrecy and shame was incredibly refreshing. I remember in the early episodes listening intently to the Ask Roxy section.
Oh, Ask Roxy, bless her.
Oh, you were going to sing that then.
I was going to sing it.
We love our Roxy.
The only reason she's not on is she's kind of like
She's
moved
too
on.
busy.
She's a really busy lady now.
A busy lady.
We still see her and we love Roxy.
Yeah. I always admired the thoughtful and empathetic advice you gave to your listeners. It made me feel like I was part of a community, and it gave me the courage to start thinking about my own desires. After listening for a few weeks, I found myself thinking about things I never had before. I started to explore the idea of ethical non-monogamy and how it might fit into our lives. My husband and I had always been so committed to each other, but your podcast made me realise that commitment doesn't have to mean a lack of exploration. It could mean building an even stronger, more open relationship. I started a conversation with my husband about it. We talked about a lot of things you discuss on the show: communication, boundaries and trust. We've been on a journey of discovery ever since. We've gone to a local club and simply observed and enjoyed the atmosphere. It's been an incredibly affirming experience for us, strengthening our connection in ways I never would have imagined. The best part of this journey has been how much closer it has brought my husband and me. We're communicating more openly than we ever were, and it feels like we're a team exploring a new, exciting chapter in our relationship. We're rediscovering ourselves and each other, and it's all thanks to the compassionate and insightful conversations you have on your show. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. N, for your courage in creating this podcast. Your advice has given me and my husband the tools to build a more authentic and exciting relationship, and for that, I will be forever grateful. Sincerely, a very grateful listener.
What a beautiful email.
How amazing is that? And,
absolutely beautiful.
And it's when we receive things like that, it makes me sort of say to myself, because we sit here in our little box week in, week out, and we think, do people really want to listen to us?
More sex.
We ramble on about all sorts of nonsense and everything else. And then you receive messages like that and you think to yourself...
And it's so eloquently written as well. It's beautiful.
Beautiful message. So thank you so much for that. It does honestly mean the world to us that, you know, we are reaching people and we are making people's lives better.
And that's the thing, you know, obviously she's only says that how long they've been married, and you don't know obviously how old that person is. And I would hate to think that somebody's excluded from, you know, what we call the naughty hobby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing, that there is something in the naughty hobby for everyone. There's parties for over 40s, there's parties for the younger generation. And we just, when we set out, we wanted to make it clear that there is something for everyone. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what shape you are. You are welcome to certain events, certainly to all our events. We welcome everyone
Absolutely.
to V2V. We think mixed parties work well for us, you know?
They do.
Our only thing is be kind. That's all that we say. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. It's what's inside for us.
Exactly. Absolutely. Totally agree with that, Mr. N.
Now, that beautiful email kind of inspired this whole episode.
It did.
We kind of sat and thought to ourselves, why does a person write to a complete stranger for advice?
Yes.
You know, agony aunts and agony uncles. They've been in the Sun newspaper. You had, what was it? Dear Deirdre.
Dear Deirdre, yeah.
And, you know, you kind of ask yourself, why do people like the juiciness of it? What is it that kind of inspires? But then I thought to myself, when was the very first agony aunt?
You like to do your research, don't you?
I do. Was it Dear Deirdre? Well, it wasn't. But before we get onto all the really, really sexy, naughty stuff and juiciness of it, we've got somebody else to introduce.
We have. It's that time of the show.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the lovely Mrs. Mother Trucker and Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday.
The first speeding fine took place in 1896. Walter Arnold was caught tearing through the Paddock Wood, Kent, at 8 miles per hour, and he was fined 1 shilling.
I love the randomness of it.
It's so random. I love it.
What if they had speed cameras back then?
Do you think? Maybe.
I'm not sure. Thank you, Mrs. Mother Trucker. And being historical, it kind of brings us on nicely to our next part of the show.
It was a nice link, that was.
Because we're kind of talking about when was the very first agony aunt. And so I got onto Google, did a little bit of research, and it didn't take me long. Because there's a book that's been written quite recently, and it's The Changing Meaning of the Advice Column. It's all about that.
Okay.
And the work of agony aunts and uncles, and it all makes sense. And it actually began in the 17th century.
No.
Yeah. So, Dear Deirdre, you were long after. You think, back in the 17th century, it's like 1690 something.
Seriously?
Yeah, men still wore those like wigs, you know, like judges wear. You'd still got highwaymen.
Oh, my word.
You'd still got highwaymen. And basically it began, this question asked anonymously appeared in October 1691 in the Athenian Mercury, which was a London magazine. And it was for frequenters of London coffee houses. And in the early spring that year, while walking in a London park, the publisher, John Dunton, had conceived the idea of a question and answer column. And the 17th of March issue had put a call for questions. Initially, these were on science, history, religion, and all sorts of things that probably men would have been into. You know
Don't say it. I'm sorry to be a sexist, but it sounds very male orientated, that does.
You know, some of the questions: did Adam and Eve eat actual apples? Can a crippled person be made straight again?
What?
Yeah, these are actually genuine questions. What is a star? Brilliant. But the 13th column also contained communications on personal topics, and there was an inquiry from a lady.
Wow.
Now, can you imagine back in that sort of century?
No.
So that would have been, yeah.
That was a very brave move.
And she asked as to whether her sex might not send questions as well as men. They could, and the Athenian correspondence became so popular that Dunton began to collect them all together in large bound volumes, and they were sold to coffee house owners for 2 shillings and 6pence, which is about 35 quid in today's money.
Wow.
And this was all bound together, and this book was made by Mary Beth Norton. And the book is called I Humbly Beg Your Speedy Answer.
Oh, I love that. Can you still get a copy?
Yeah, you can get a copy. It's
Really?
£20. It's from the Princeton University Press, and it looks absolutely brilliant. And she's kind of like put all the letters together, and they're about love, marriage, and personal advice from the very first agony aunts.
That's awesome.
So, of the 3 Athenian advisors, okay, these are the people that you wrote to, Samuel Wesley was a clergyman of 2 whose, wait for it, 17 children.
Freaking hell.
They didn't have a telly in their house. John and Charles were to be the founders of Methodism.
Right.
So, founders of the church.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that their answers aren't going to be particularly liberal
No.
at this stage, can you?
You'll burn in hell.
And they could be quite judicious, and they weren't particularly sympathetic, but they were quite well informed. So one gentleman was asking about kissing.
Right.
And the reply was, "Not so hasty, good sir. The repetitive kisser is told, kissing is a luscious diet. He should feed cautiously, as if he were eating melons."
Oh, I love that.
A young woman whose spurned wooer became distracted and died is exonerated from blame, and a red-haired man whose beloved can't stand the colour of his hair is tipped off that an expert in dyeing is to be spoken with near the King's Bathhouse in Longacre. These were like the advice given.
Oh my God, this is amazing. It's just interesting that obviously the first agony aunt was a man. Because most people automatically assume it's a woman.
Of course not. Because back then,
Yeah. I know.
things were very different.
Oh, yeah.
But on the sexual behaviour, the Athenians were stern. Cohabitance does not constitute marriage. They pronounce whatever the correspondent might hope, that he will answer for it on the day of judgment.
You see, this is where the world's gone wrong today.
Yeah.
We should have stuck to those rules.
I think if you're expecting the last days of Rome in these answers, I don't think you're going to get it. Separation is at the most spouses' infidelity permits. It's a crime to love or desire. A married woman, prayer and fasting are helpful, but not infallible. There are aids to avoid lust and tackling Satan. And then it goes, yeah. Because
does it not tell you what aids they use?
No, it aids lust.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant they had aids to kind of like suppress the lust.
No, Love Honey wasn't around then. You know what I mean?
And no fleshlights there then.
Absolutely not. The advice goes on to say, however obnoxious the correspondent's husband is, she must submit to God's will and obey him.
Ooh.
The marriage issue was not just moral, it's conventional. And it goes on and on and on and on and all that kind of stuff. And yeah.
Hey, you can't say we don't give you on this show.
So you see, before we had Ask Roxy,
Yeah.
there were others that weren't quite so liberal or open-minded as us. So we moved forward a few hundred years and I decided to do a little bit of research and see what was the most asked question last year on Google
Oh, okay.
to do with sex.
And?
Because Google is kind of like the ultimate agony aunt.
Well, it
isn't
is really, yeah.
Yeah, sort of now. So according to Google, they shared this exclusively with Cosmopolitan UK. The most searched sex query was... Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
What is autosexual?
Oh.
Oh, no. You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
What is autosexual? Many people first heard this term when Kourtney Kardashian shared a blog about autosexuality back in 2020.
Right.
Do you remember that when we were all locked in our houses and there was this bloody COVID thing about... To be autosexual means to be attracted to yourself more than others. The concept is still not entirely understood in the field of human sexuality, as there is so little research done on this particular sexuality. Catherine Hartleyan, who is a sex therapist and expert advisor at sex therapy app Blue Heart, previously told Cosmopolitan UK, autosexual individuals are attracted primarily, sometimes not exclusively, to their own bodies. It involves a whole range of sexual behaviours and attitudes. Some people may be turned on by themselves exclusively, whilst others might just be turned on by others.
I mean, and the whole term of you have to learn to love yourself before you love others. It is that kind of thing as well, where if you are completely happy with yourself and, you know, in love with yourself, so to speak, or you love the person you are.
That's a very good point. I don't know. I'll read on. Hartlin added that if you get turned on watching yourself having sex in the mirror or posing in erotic lingerie, that doesn't necessarily mean you're autosexual. I guess that could be almost a little bit voyeur and exhibitionist. You could be a bit of an exhibitionist with that, just looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that doesn't mean autoeroticism. Let's carry on. It doesn't necessarily mean you're autosexual, but if you're aroused by the thought of having sex with yourself, or I'm giggling, I'm just thinking of Madame Palm and her 5 lovely fingers. But if you're aroused by the thought of having sex with yourself, or you have to think about yourself to climax, then you might be. If your appetite has been whetted, you can read more in her book.
I just feel like it's another flipping pigeonhole. Let's label you. Don't you think?
No, yeah, I guess so. Do you want to know another top trending question?
Yeah, go on then.
Ready?
Yep.
You're not going to be ready for this. This is 2024, okay?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, fairly recent.
Yeah. Is masturbation a sin? It's 2024, people.
What?
I know. There you go. The answer to this question will depend on your religious or cultural beliefs.
I was just about to say, do you think that was actually posted by...
You've got to say it's worldwide. Of course,
there are a lot of religions that
absolutely strictly forbid it.
Yeah.
And so, it is a sin. So, obviously, it depends on your religious or cultural beliefs and or upbringing. It can be deeply ingrained and may require unpacking with the help of a therapist who specialise in addressing trauma. I don't really think you need to go to a sex therapist if you just knock one out. But that's just me. You know what I mean? To us, masturbation definitely isn't a sin. You know, in the West, obviously, it's quite accepted, probably even encouraged.
Yeah. The thing is, if you go back to the whole, you know, we've been put on this earth to, you know, procreate, yes, and all that kind of thing, and that's originally how we've been brought up. And obviously, sex has moved on.
But again, it goes back to that thing of almost encouraging shame in sexuality, doesn't it? You're not allowed to touch yourself, and you know, it encourages shame in early behaviour, I suppose. Masturbation is a natural and healthy way of expressing it, goes on the sex therapist. But of course, it's important to feel comfortable and confident with that. And they have a guide to masturbating.
Okay.
I'm going to flip past that bit.
You don't want to share that. No.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to know another question?
I do.
How often do married couples have sex?
Okay.
That's quite an interesting one, isn't it? It's a widespread stereotype that once you get married, the sex stops, which of course isn't the case.
Nope.
But there is some truth to the idea that people in long-term relationships start to have less sex. The longer they're together, factors such as familiarity, daily stresses, having children or aging, health issues, all contributes to less sex, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can do.
Over time, the novelty and excitement of a new relationship naturally diminishes. Do you know what they recommend for this? To increase your sexual activity if you're in a long-term relationship?
Go on.
Open communication.
Oh, hallelujah.
Share your feelings, desires and fantasies. Introduce novelty and fun ways to experiment. Sex toys, role play, attending sex parties. Cosmopolitan, they were saying attend sex parties or exploring kink and BDSM. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show how, using a Mr. Horny word, how, you know, sex has evolved over the years, which is going to do, because obviously you get people that do more research, you get people that are more, explorative.
Yeah.
And that then moves on to teach other people, and which is, you know, what happens. So, but there's nothing wrong in it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to read one more out now.
Okay.
What is a dink relationship? Dink, spelled D-I-N-K. What is a dink relationship? What is a hard launch relationship? What is a karmic relationship? These are all top asked questions in Google in 2024.
I have never even heard of one of those terms.
No, me neither. Well, all of these things, first DINK, which is D-I-N-K, is an acronym for Dual Income No Kids. It was coined in the 1980s, but took off on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, recently.
Yeah.
With couples showing off about the benefits of being childless, like being able to travel the world, spend time on hobbies, and actually have money in your pockets. Do you want to know what hard launching relationships?
I am intrigued.
Well, it says, gone are the days of soft launching your new beau on Instagram by posting the back of their head. Now we're just announcing them to the world with a full-on face shot.
Seriously? Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Or a nude of the two of you after sex.
Oh!
And apparently that is hard launching your relationship in 2024.
Flipping heck.
So yeah, it's the era of hard launch relationships and hard breakups as well. So obviously you can hard launch your breakup. This is mental.
Why would you want to do that?
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Karmic relationships.
Yes, what's that one?
So a karmic relationship is one that brings to light issues from another lifetime. So it's a bit like a belief.
Oh, right, okay,
So it's
yeah.
like karma and karmic effects.
Ah.
Okay, so it reflects on a soul's connection from the past life with the understanding that there is still some unfinished business left and it needs to happen in this lifetime. Basically, if you have a feeling of deja vu around your partner or like you've known them forever, you could be in a karmic relationship.
Ooh.
You could be karmic soulmates.
Hey.
And apparently people were so interested in this. This was one of the most Googled relationship questions.
Wow. You see, if they were all masturbating, they wouldn't be asking questions, would they?
Exactly. So they were the sort of top questions. But I found it kind of interesting that you look at the questions back in a few hundred years ago, but we're kind of still looking at backward thoughts and ideologies now. Because it's like, is masturbation a sin?
Yeah.
In 2024?
Yeah.
You know? So it all leads up to my big question is, have we moved on that much? I'm not sure.
Well, yeah. Maybe we haven't evolved as much as we thought we had.
And I'm going to gather all the Cosmopolitan magazines together, bound them up, write a book.
So as we're talking about relationship advice, I have recently seen an article in The Sun.
I think it was the last couple of weeks this has been out.
Yes. Which was under the heading of relationship advice, and it's called sexcruciating.
Oh, that's a new word. I like it.
Yes, the most dangerous sex positions that cause thousands of injuries, and they're more vanilla than you might think.
Oh my goodness me. I need to know, is jumping off the wardrobe in there?
I don't know, but I do feel like I need to put a bit of disclaimer out, especially to the guys. You may want to cross your legs on some of these.
Oh no.
I'm just warning you. Don't write in and complain.
Oh no.
But the article starts off with, one common position could result in penile fracture.
Ooh.
So the article goes on to read, you might think it's the kinky stuff that causes bedroom accidents, but experts say it's actually the most common sex positions that are landing Brits in A&E.
Yeah, but you could say that, I guess, because the more people that have sex in that position, the more injuries are going to become because there's more people having sex in that position.
Yeah.
You follow my lead? Carry on.
So, new research has revealed the sex positions most likely to cause painful injuries, and it turns out vanilla favourites like missionary are far riskier than you'd imagine.
No, not the safe old missionary.
Yeah. So the study by sex education experts at Joy Love Dolls analysed data from more than 1,000 people across Europe and the US who had sustained a sex-related injury. And the results might just come as a surprise.
So not only is it you've suffered your knob snapping in half, You then get bloody phoned up. Excuse me, sir. Would you mind talking about your sexual injury? Where there's a blame, there's a claim.
Okay, so here are the top most dangerous sex positions.
The lawyers are standing by with their pens.
What would you say? What initially would be your first thought of the top position, do you think, that could cause injuries?
I'm going to go for a move that reminds me of the WWE. Wrestling.
Right.
Where I've seen it on a film. I've never practiced this. I admit this now. Where they're standing up and the woman is like on the guy's knob doing oral upside down and he holds her. And
okay.
So it's like a vertical 69 if you will.
Yeah. Okay. No. So the very top position that causes more injuries is more actually dangerous for women than anything, and it's doggy style.
Okay.
So doggy style came out on top as the most dangerous position for women, causing over 20% of injuries.
Wow.
So women reported a range of injuries from bruises, sprains to vaginal tearing, with 1 in 4 vaginal tears linked to this go-to position.
Jesus Christ, how big were the partners?
Yeah, for men, doggy was the second most dangerous, responsible for nearly 16% of male sex injuries, with cramped muscles, back pain, and even penile fractures amongst the most common issues.
I've had the cramps. You've been there when I
have been there when you had the cramps. 1 in 6 penile fractures happened in this position.
1 in 6?
1 in 6.
Holy shit. But, that, as I say, thinking about my earlier answer when you asked the question, I've just suddenly thought to myself, how many people have actually tried doing a vertical 69? Probably very little, so it's not going to be the most popular one, is it?
So the next one is the missionary.
Really?
Yeah. So the missionary, it takes the crown for men's worst nightmare in the bedroom. The front-facing position accounted for nearly 1 in 5 sex injuries in men and is the leading cause of penile fractures.
Ow.
It's also left many nursing bad backs, sprains and sore muscles.
I wonder how many sick days at work have been through sexual injury. How much is this costing the country? We're in a crisis.
So women don't fare much better with the missionary position either. It ranks second for them, causing 16.3% of injuries, including 24% of vaginal soreness and 21% of tearing. Hips, legs, lower backs are all under strain in the deceptively simple pose.
You're all doing it wrong. It should be very simple. So vanilla.
Scotty, this guy is obviously not his real name, surely. Scotty Unfamous, sex expert and educator for Ann Summers, says, although it's one of the most popular positions for sex, this fan favourite is the most common way that intimate injuries occur, as it can cause some wear and tear to your joints. If you experience discomfort from how you are positioned during missionary sex, try incorporating cushions or a rolled up towel or blanket to provide some support. We've done that.
We've done that, Mrs. N, yeah.
See, I have a tilted cervix. Which
I can't say I've noticed.
No, obviously the only way I found out was when we went for a smear test. They do because when they try and insert, I forget the technical word for whatever they insert in you.
Let's call it a didgeridoo.
Yeah, obviously because my cervix is tilted, if I'm just lying normal, they can't insert it because it's at a funny angle. So they have to position my bottom so it's at an angle to be able to insert the thing that they then do the smear test with. So I get the whole, it's more comfortable for women to have either a cushion or a towel just under the lower back just to give you that different angle. Yeah.
Okay.
There's probably more women that have got tilted cervixes than they realise. But there you go. So another unexpected hazard was switching positions mid-romp, which might feel spontaneous, but accounts for almost 10% of female injuries.
10%?
Yeah, it also leads to 14% of bruises and 10% of vaginal tears. Just remind me again, why do we do sex?
In fairness, Mrs. N, thinking about this, you've taken a good kick to the head when we've adjusted position.
That is very true, yes. That is very dangerous. So the next position is the standing position. So just to explain, man standing,
yeah,
girl facing towards the man.
With legs wrapped around
it, yeah. This apparently, while sounding adventurous, is the major backbreaker, especially for men. Nearly half of all injuries from this position are due to back pain.
Yeah, it looks good on porn films.
Yeah.
Probably not so good in real life. And in fairness, we've seen a lot of true life sexual activity in playrooms.
Yes.
How often do you see that?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen it in the playroom either. It just goes to show porn and real sex, two very, very different things.
Apparently for women, it's a little less risky, but still responsible for over 4% of injuries. Scotty says, a great tool to assist you standing is a sex swing, like this door jam swing restraint from Ann Summers. So it's nice how he just, slipped that one in there. Bit of promotion.
It's not very reliable, though, if your house is shit. then that could lead to another injury. Where there's a blame, there's a claim.
Okay, so next one on the list is cowgirl and reverse cowgirl.
Yes, I can understand that.
Why?
Because I always feel vulnerable.
What, when I'm bouncing up and down on you?
Yeah, because that one slight misbounce... If the woman jumps up a little bit too high, crack, and then it's game over.
All right. So cowgirl, where the woman is on top, made the top 5 for both sexes. Men were more likely to suffer down below, while women saw injuries to their knees and hips. Reverse cowgirl, trickier variation, only made up 1% of women's injuries, but proved more dangerous for the men, causing nearly 6% of accidents and resulting in penile soreness. Which, I understand that, yeah.
I'm surprised that there's not more penile breaks.
Well, it just said 1 in 4 men said it even led to fractures.
1 in 4?
1 in 4.
Whoa.
Scotty said, make sure to stretch beforehand when riding. Keep in mind how your anatomies fit together. I just imagine, I'm just going to limber up, dear. We're going for a cowgirl.
I'm just doing a few stretching exercises.
Yeah. He says, position yourselves in a way that makes it most comfortable by leaning forward or backwards to keep the penis inside as much as possible and communicate with your partner. You can also use cushions to help support you both. Other risky moves include standing 69, that's exactly what you said, and oral sex, with both positions unexpectedly landing people in pain.
Do you remember that wrestler, The Undertaker?
Yes.
He used to hold people like that, drop them on there. It was called the tombstone. You don't want to do the tombstone in the bedroom.
You don't want to do the tombstone.
No, absolutely not. Definitely not.
So, sex educator Amy Nugent from Joy Love Dolls warned that rough sex and poor communication are major contributors. She said it's fascinating. People assume the riskiest positions are the wildest ones, but the data shows it's actually the most common positions leading to injuries. Rough sex is one of the biggest culprits, which highlights the need for better communication in the bedroom. You have to check in with your partner or you could wind up hurt. Shockingly, only 3% of men and 5% of women said they told their partner about the injury afterwards. That lack of openness is worrying.
Absolutely.
I suppose there's a slight embarrassment there, isn't there?
We've spoken to people, haven't we, where they've said... Where couples have been together for years and years and they've actually said to us that they haven't told their partner, actually, I don't particularly like that.
Yeah.
We've experienced that in our little group of people that we've chatted to.
Absolutely, yeah. They go on to say that over 60% of people admitted that they'd been injured during sex and more than half said they had sought help from a doctor. Amy said some of these injuries like back pain or muscle cramps might seem minor, but others like tears and fractures can be serious. Don't be embarrassed to get checked out. And for those keeping score, vaginal soreness was the most common injury for women, while for men, it was good old-fashioned back pain.
There you go, you see.
She says, so next time you hop into bed, you might want to rethink that safe go-to move. Your body will thank you later.
Libido. Libido, I recommend Libido for the vaginal soreness.
Exactly, absolutely.
A good
and
lube.
Also, it's very
good lube.
Yeah, it's very good to stop friction. Very good to stop friction. And you can get it from v2v.uk.
You can indeed. You can indeed. A little plug there. Guys, Back problem, I can't help you with that one. Just don't go
I've
mad.
just got this image of everybody going, right, we're going to do missionary. No, let's do something a little less normal.
It's just unbelievable.
Oh, it's amazing.
Well, you can't say you don't learn things by listening to us.
Exactly. Your health is a top priority for us here.
Absolutely.
We care about you.
We have been helping people since 1691. Oh my goodness me.
And I'd just like to reiterate, it's not a sin to masturbate.
Absolutely not. When I say we've been helping people since 1641, I actually mean 20 to 5. We're not that old, honestly.
We've been here in another life, Mr. N.
That's that karmic thing again.
Karmic, yeah.
Well, I'd like to say thank you very much for putting up with us for another hour.
Absolutely.
And if you can attend one of our events, we would love to see you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And dear listener, remember the next time somebody just puts a condom on and says, let's have safe sex, remind them that the whole activity is just fraught with bloody danger.
Take care and be careful what sex position you're doing.
Absolutely. I'm off now to do a risk assessment in the bedroom.
I'm going to go and do some stretches.
Take care.
Bye-bye.